Making relevant and accurate information available to stakeholders in the education sector is very important for its growth. This is because of the important role played by education in any society. In Lagos State, there are millions of education stakeholders, especially parents and guardians of school children, who need to have access to information that will help them make better decisions for their wards. However, according to reports, there is presently a low coverage of education by the media, especially the broadcast stations. Hence, the need to improve education coverage by not only seeking to increase coverage, but also facilitating the media market players. This is where developing effective private education in Nigeria, Deepen, plays an important role. At a media forum on commercially viable approach to increase education coverage in the media held recently, the team leader, Dr. Gboyega Ilusonya, spoke on Deepen's expected outcome and income.
When you look at this, and then you put it side by side with the impact, expected impact of ESPIN, which is another public sector project being supported by Deepen, it's more or less the same. It's improved learning outcomes for children attending public schools. So this is just complementary, so that the whole coverage of Lagos, that the kids attending school in Lagos. Because when you take the composite figure, the total figures at 2010-2011, you have about 1.4 million children at 2010-2011 attending private schools. And then you have about 1.034 million attending public. So it actually made it an aggregate of 7% to 43% then at that 2010-2011. And because of that, it became necessary for Deepen to provide support, because if all the support from Lagos State government is making a lot of efforts in making sure that there's improved learning outcome, all the efforts will amount to 43% of the total if we succeed with the existing program. And so that is why this had to come in. So outcome level, which is intermediate, is improved private school performance, especially among schools serving low-income households. We don't want, because they are the ones that are likely going to be left out. The big schools can easily sometimes take care of themselves.
The intervention leader communication, Tolashe Olatinwo, spoke on the relevance of accurate information to the stakeholders in the education sector.
Within the education sector, we've got the key stakeholders with the information to do things. We've got children, we've got parents, and not just parents, guardians, relatives, uncles, aunties, the community as a whole, okay? And we've got schools, they need the information to act, to improve themselves, so to say. And of course the policy makers, the authorities, the government people, they equally need the information to do that. Children, basically, what they need about is just about their learning. Parents, we need to make choices. Why should I send my child to ABC Nursery and Primary School and not SYZ Nursery and Primary School? We need that information to act. And then to demand better services.
Deepen's media consultant, Richard Hansen, also shared his views.
Deepen doesn't want to use you. Deepen wants to work with you. We want to move, if you like, into a different sort of relationship, one that goes beyond the contractual, one beyond the media, if you like, as a service provider, and Deepen the program as client. Okay? But we also want something that will work for us and for you. And we know that to work for you, it's got to involve some money. It's got to be commercially viable. We know that there are in excess of 5 million children in private schools in Lagos State. So 5 million plus parents or guardians or providers of those children who we want to reach out to. And we know that that mass audience needs the mass media, and we need to work with a variety of media types. So whether radio or TV or newsprint, online, we need to work across the mass media to reach that very large audience.
There was also contributions from journalists from different media houses in Lagos State.
The problem is this: because of the commercial drive, as I said earlier, the organization will always ask questions. Why should you allow private school A to come and say something about maybe the school or your program when they are not paying? You know, it's like you are selling it. But from what I can get from this project, it's like we're not looking at a particular school. We're actually looking at the system. So with that, it could be a bit, you know, the approach could be better, you know, because you are looking at the system, not a particular school, but the private education system.
I need to let you know that from the private sector, there are a number of issues that affect marketing. Number one, the marketers are on target. So if you are on target, you really want to go to the big spenders. Who are those who are going to pay the bills? Because when you run a media business, it's not a child's play. Particularly from the private sector, they need to pay salaries, they need to buy gadgets, they need to, you know, have very strong partnerships, perhaps with some foreign media partners, and they need to be on point in the media language. So everybody is on target. So education might not actually be the priority at that point in time, because when you look at the big spenders, you look at the financial service sector, you look at telecoms, oil and gas, etc.
Someone bringing his money into your program is not advertising on your program because he loves you. Because he's only advertising because he has something to gain on that program. And the first question is, how many eyeballs can I count if it's television? How many ears are listening to this program if it's radio? The time of the day we position children's program is faulty. Many a times, these kids are at school.
Thereafter, participants were grouped into various groups where they discussed on how the quantity and quality of education coverage can be improved and the support required to improve media coverage of education, as well as how to make it commercially viable. Each group had a representative who gave a report on the outcome of their discussion. With Deepen working with media houses in Lagos State, they will in turn help parents and other stakeholders to meet their information needs and also generate substantial revenue from advertisers targeting these vibrant markets.